What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Passion Universe. I'm your host, Oma Hagoma. Apologies for the delay in releasing this episode, but the start of the year has been a bit hectic. I have a feeling that this conversation will get me back into your good graces. My guest today is one of the most talented wheelchair basketball players in the UK. She's the co-captain of the Women's Premier League team at Cardiff Met, and one of my favorite people to share the court with. Please welcome to Passion Universe, Libi Phillips. Libi, how are you doing?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Good. Can you tell us more about your classification in wheelchair basketball?
Yeah, so I'm a 3.5, and I play more as kind of like a ball carrier in basketball.
Amazing. How does your condition affect you on a day-to-day basis?
So my disability is cerebral palsy, and I guess cerebral palsy is a really interesting one because everyone's kind of affected differently. But for me, it's mainly pain and fatigue that disrupt my daily life the most. So like tired days, I would call them, but like really it's fatigue. Can vary per day. So some days, if it's really, really bad, not even able to really open my eyes, get up, but that's just a write-off day. Whereas there can be days where like throughout the day I'm kind of feeling it more and more, or I'll hit like a fall in the middle of the day. It really just depends. Pain-wise, again, depends. I'll wake up and feel it. Like there's no way to predict it the night before or anything like that. So for me, yeah, probably how sporadic like days are probably is what disrupts my life the most. And the fatigue really gets in the way, especially in uni and sport and things.
Makes sense. And how often do you get the days where you can't even get out of bed?
More recently, because when you're not able to use your chair so much, that kind of affects things as well. So if I'm able to kind of regulate it as best I can, use my chair as often as I can, generally I'd say maybe a handful of times a month. Whereas if I'm walking more, maybe like you could average one a week.
Yeah.
If that's at its worst, when things are really bad. But generally a handful a month. So it's not too bad. I can regulate it. But yeah, when it hits you hard.
And you mentioned not using your chair as much. Can you share why that happened and some news about your injury so far?
Yes, I'm injured at the minute. I've been injured for over 2 months now. I had a shoulder issue and then I broke my wrist separately. So at the minute, we're looking at 3 to 4 weeks until I can train again. And then maybe we're averaging 2 weeks until I can play. But the main consideration is, obviously it's out of the cast now, but it's very, very weak. Being able to fall on it without damaging anything else. Obviously, if you're going to play a game, there's a chance that you'll fall or crash or, you'll have to use your wrist in some way. And then the other side of it is the flick to pass or shoot, which is such a huge part of the game. And I'm just not able to do that at the minute. It's too stiff and too sore. And also gripping things is hard at the minute, so I can't grip my chair wheel or anything like that. But I've been working with the physios as part of Cardiff Met, and I've seen massive improvements since it came off on the 7th of this month. So I'm positive that I'll be there soon.
Good. I can't wait to have you back on court.
I'm so desperate.
Yeah. Bit of a fun question. How would you describe your disability to a 3-year-old?
I love that question. If ever, like, a child asks me, I always describe cerebral palsy as a, like, misconnected Wi-Fi connection in the brain.
That's really interesting.
So, medically, CP originates from a lack of oxygen. And basically, like, your legs, whatever parts are affected, have a miscommunication with the brain. The brain's constantly telling them to contract, which causes tightness and pain. So for me, the easiest way to describe that to a child is a missed Wi-Fi connection. Yeah. And they seem to get it, or like kind of, my legs don't talk to my brain, and that's the easiest way to get them to understand it. Or, if they say, why are you in a chair? And I'm like, because my arms work better than my legs. So yeah, just practically explaining it. But
so you try to find fun ways to describe it.
Yeah, because when we look at it, really, I consider my disability to be quite boring. Like, it's just not it's not interesting. The story isn't interesting. It just is what it is to me. So yeah, trying to find a fun way to describe it, I guess. Yeah.
Can you take me back to the time you became aware of your disability?
Obviously, I was born with mine, so I've never known anything but I'd say the a time where the earliest time I can remember knowing I was disabled and knowing I was different to my friends was probably when I started, I would say really early on, when you start using the playground more as a kid, so primary school. And I remember there being a really popular game, it was called Mob Tag or something, and everyone basically is involved. And I remember being the first out every single time. And I think because I was such a competitive kid and still am a competitive person, I think that was a highlight for me of I'm not as quick as everyone else. So that made me aware of it.
Yeah.
And then as I grew up then, I've said before, like I was very aware of my disability growing up. I didn't have any friends who were disabled until I found sport. So I found sport at age 8, 9. So before then, I didn't really know anyone who was disabled. I'm from a very small town, very small primary school. So that was really difficult growing up. And I was very aware of it until I found sport. And then it became more of a positive thing for me. And I became more proud. My parents have always been amazing, but it's just so hard when you don't have those role models with you to show you that you can be in a wheelchair and you can be independent and normal. I hate using the word, but, you know. And so, yeah, I was always really aware of it. But that's the first time, and I always link it back to like Mob Tag or whatever it was called. And that was the first time I was aware, and it made me sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you find the process of getting into sports?
I had such a great experience finding sport. I came to the In Sport series here in Nyack when I was 8, I think. And I've always had a really sporty family and upbringing, really competitive. So I wanted to do something, and it was really important to my parents that I have those role models because I'd started getting kind of more aware of things. And it was amazing. I think for me, I gravitated more towards sports in a wheelchair because I was using a day chair. And so the idea of being in a wheelchair but being quick and sporty was like luxury to me. And it was something that I'd never experienced or seen before. And yeah, when I first went here, there were loads of athletes who were playing at high levels of their sports, helping with the sessions. So for me, it was like celebrities everywhere. And it was just like I felt lucky to be able to do these things. So yeah, I gravitated towards wheelchair basketball and wheelchair rugby. And I did the both for a little while.
What was wheelchair rugby like for you?
So different to basketball. I want to say I did it for about 3 years, 4 years. And at first that was more what I leaned into and did more of rather than basketball because there was a wheelchair rugby junior club nearer to me in Swansea. And so I did that more focused. And it was aggressive. And it was a lot of boys doing it as well. But I had so much fun. I played for the Ospreys junior team and like some of my best like sport memories from being young were from rugby. And it's like such if you've seen it, like it's called murder ball in America. And
it's mental. It's
mental. And there's all these little kids doing it. And like, yeah, no, it was great. But it's just, for me, I preferred the intricacies of basketball, I think.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
And you did racing briefly as well.
Oh, yes, so briefly. Yeah, I did that for maybe a year. And I think I did one competition. Oh. And yeah, it was great. And I loved the experience of it. But it's just so different. Like, it was an individual sport. And I wanted my team, I guess. And to me, I think it's an incredible sport. But for me, I was like, you're just pushing in a straight line.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I was just like, there's got to be some more to it. So, yeah, no, it was great. It was a great experience to do that.
I think you like to be engaged with the intricacies, like you mentioned in the sport. Yeah. You like your brain to be working as well. So pushing in a straight line wasn't for you, I suppose.
No, it wasn't.
So when did wheelchair basketball come into your life?
So it came into my life at the same time through like In Sport and things. And there was a development club literally in my town, which was really lucky because it's such a small town. So I did that for a while. And then I came round to when I was old enough to do the under-14s Wales team. So we had trainings in Aberystwyth and kind of we carried on years and years through there. And then under-18s. So it was the Wales setup really that drew me towards Cardiff and like doing it every week and it becoming like an actual, more than a hobby, I guess, like more of a focused thing that I wanted to put my real effort into. And then by the time I was doing GCSEs, WPL had started, and it kind of goes on from there, where I'd kind of centralised it to Cardiff.
How many teams do you currently play for?
Oh my God. Well, when I'm well, I'm playing for National League, Bucks, Women's League, WPL.
Yeah.
Is that it?
That's quite a lot
4?
already. Yeah.
Well, I'm scared I'm missing one.
I don't think you are.
No. 4.
4.
Yeah. I think. Yeah.
Can you take me back to the moment you fell in love with the sport?
Probably at that in sport series. Like, seriously.
Straight away?
Yeah, 8-year-old, just pushing in circles for what could have been hours. Mum was like, we need to go home. Yeah, genuinely, just feeling that, just acceptance of myself. I can remember it completely, like just getting in the chair and being like, oh, so it's okay to be in a chair. And it was just such an 8-year-old school of thought of, oh, so it's okay. But when I look back at it now, I'm like, that was amazing that I got to have this experience through sport, that I just accepted myself. And like, if you spoke to my mum, like she'd say, I've had so many conversations with her, and would say like, from there was such like a rise in confidence in me. And then by the time I was in, secondary school, I was just chatty as, whereas younger me was so quiet. So the further I went with basketball, the more I did it, the more confident I became, because I was meeting people and becoming best friends with people who had the same or similar disabilities, or not similar at all, but we understood each other in ways. So yeah, I think I wouldn't be half the person or half as similar as I am now if I hadn't have started sport when I did.
That's amazing, and it goes to show the power of sport, truly.
Yeah, crazy.
What is your training schedule like nowadays?
Hectic.
Yeah.
Yeah, we train pretty much every day for one like team or another, and then S&C 3 times a week, and then once the season starts, which is this weekend, there'll be games pretty much every weekend, I think, if not a double weekend, so Saturday and Sunday. So yeah, crazy busy.
How do you motivate yourself on hard training days?
I think I just genuinely enjoy it. So I'm kind of keen to go. And I also see it as a social thing. Like, some of my best friends are from basketball. So I want to go and see them. I think especially when I come back from injury, I'm going to be obsessed. I think because I've had so long off that I'm going to be just raring to go. I think as well, like, I've had this conversation with people as well, is that when I come back from injury, I think I'm going to be so much more grateful for the time on the court that I have. So I think, like, when people say, like, oh, well, you need to be grateful for it because you could get injured at any minute. And people used to say that to me, and I'd think, yeah, okay. But now, like, I realise really you could. So I think for me going back now, using experiences like these or like illness and things, just to motivate yourself to think, well, it could actually be gone at any minute.
Could be taken away any minute.
Any minute, and you don't expect it. Like, I went home one night from training thinking I'd go the next day, and I didn't. So, like, it is one of those things that you just need to be grateful for it. But I think, yeah, just genuinely enjoy it. Like, I just don't really want to be anywhere else because I just have so much fun there.
How would you describe dealing with your injury mentally?
Yeah, I've really struggled mentally, actually, with my injury, and I've not really spoken about it, but I think that it's one of those things where I used sport as an outlet more than I thought I did, and I relied on it more than I thought I did. And I think because it wasn't really even a slow progression of it going, it was just kind of like, oh, we're done now for months. So I really struggled just to regulate my emotions, and I was feeling quite anxious and frustrated, because I think we don't realise how much we get our aggression out through sport.
Yeah.
And things are frustrating. Like, we have frustrating lives. Like, everyone has frustrations. So to not be able to get it out at one of the most frustrating points of my life has been hard. But I've been working with psychology as part of TAS, which has been really, really helpful. And just like leaning on the people around me. Because it is hard when people kind of don't understand, and it is hard as well. Like, I love going to training and seeing everyone, but it is hard because seeing them, and like now that the season's started, that's hard as well because I'm missing out. And but I feel like I do better when I know that there's this amount of time and I should be back. It was very hard around the time where I was in the middle of plaster cast, and we had no idea what state it would be in when it came out, because it was in for 9 weeks ultimately. So we had no idea.
That's a long time.
It's a long time for it to be stuck in one position, and just the muscles are just like so weak. But now that I have more of a grasp on a timeline, I feel a lot better and a lot more secure. Yeah.
What do you love about wheelchair basketball, apart from getting the aggression out, being speedy in a chair? What else do you love? The support system as well, you mentioned.
Yeah. I love how clever it is. There's so many things that you can do. You can look, when I'm at top with the ball, I just think there are so many things that we could do right now, you know? And I just think it's like a little game. Well, it is a game, but you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like a little video game of like what we could do next. So I love that. And I just love working in a team. I love being in a team where everyone just has respect for each other and we all trust each other's abilities. And it feels like you're just a whole bunch of friends just having fun, no matter what. I just love the environment and the community of wheelchair basketball.
And it sort of tickles your creative juices as well. So
yeah.
That's quite nice.
Yeah, because I'm not a very creative person. Like I don't do art or anything like that. So I feel like getting a bit of creativity out like that is ideal. Yeah, I have loads of fun.
How do you balance competing at such a high level with your studies?
The lifestyle management is great in Cardiff Met, and that's been such a good help to balance everything. Especially now I'm going into second year and like going into the second semester, and it's just like placement starting and things like that. The idea of working a 9 to 5 is a lot different to what I've done in the past with a union school. So I think it's difficult, especially when I'm getting these tired days and struggling with that. But I think you just got to make sure that you lean on the support that's available to you, and just see how it goes and tweak things as they go and prioritise certain things over others and just look after yourself, I guess. Yeah,
being flexible and adapting at the same time.
Being willing to give some things up for yourself, you know, prioritise yourself sometimes.
Can you share an example of the stuff you had to give up at some points, maybe?
Like just being open with coaching and saying, like, I've got an assignment due or I'm really tired and I'm just going to have to miss these trainings. And just like, I think a lot of us agree around basketball that we want to go to everything. If it's available and it's on the app, we're going. Yeah. Like, it's so hard to say no because it's there and, you know, so...
sometimes we can't really help ourselves.
No, yeah. and you see who's going and you're like, oh, if I go, there'll be enough to do 3v3 or like, and it's little things like that you think about. So yeah, just being able to say, no, I need this for me.
And why did you decide to study criminology?
Well, I came to Cardiff Met mainly for the sport. And then thought, I'm going to do a degree on what I enjoy and what I'm interested in. So I'm a big reader and I really enjoyed like psychological thrillers and documentaries and things. And I thought that I wanted to do a job that I would enjoy. So I looked at the content, looked really interesting, and I'm so glad I chose it. It's such an interesting topic and I've got such a good placement out of it and I'm super, super excited to start. So I just joined and just did it because I loved the topic and I was interested in it.
Does your disability ever get in the way of you performing well on the court?
Yeah, tiredness I'd say does. Like there have been times, I feel like with me, if it's a bad, tired day, I can get brain fog quite a lot.
I'm the same.
You know, and something will happen and it's like behind you and you're like, whoa, like that just happened and you're just so slow. And to anyone else, I think it just looks like you've got your head in the gutter.
Yeah.
But I'm just simply just like, it's taken me a minute.
Tired, thinking about something maybe. But you zone out and instantly something happens because it's such a fast game. Yeah,
it's so quick that like so many things could have happened in that 1 minute where I just need to take a minute and blink. I also would say that my disability affects my reaction times quite a bit. Obviously, because it's neurological, it will. So I think the more I've played basketball and the longer I've been here, the more I've been able to kind of cover for it. But especially when I first joined here, my reaction times weren't great, and I think it was quite obvious at times, like dropping balls and missing certain things, missing my wheel sometimes, little things like that are very easy to cover, but I noticed them.
Yeah.
And now you might. I've said this. But little things that are easily covered up, but like can affect
the way you play.
Yeah. And affect your confidence then as well, because you're like, oh, it's so embarrassing. But just like nothing huge that, I can't cover. Like little tiny things, Yeah.
What do you think are some of the biggest misconceptions that some people would have about para-athletes?
Oh, I think Will said this on his podcast, but I would echo it that, we're not elite. It's just us having a go. And also that, everyone is the same. Like all disabilities, even if you have the same disability, like it's so different. Just, undermining our abilities because we're disabled.
Yeah.
And it makes no sense to me because I think, these people that go into the Paralympics, they are the best players of wheelchair basketball, full stop. Like it's got nothing to do with their disability. If you put an able-bodied person, able-bodied Paralympic basketball player in a wheelchair, like it wouldn't be an even competition.
No.
It's a completely like different kettle of fish. And I think it is that, like Will said, the misconception that, we're not elite athletes. We are. It's just a different sport. It's no more or less than any other sport.
I think he phrased it as legitimacy, which is...
Legitimacy, yeah. And I think I have had experiences with people and they've said things like, oh, but your ultimate aim is to go to the Olympics. And I'm like, no. I don't want to go to the Olympics because I don't play any sports that are in the Olympics. So, and it's the idea that the Paralympics is underneath the Olympics and it's not. And, it's a whole new world of sport, wheelchair basketball, that people just aren't aware of. And it's sad because it's such an amazing sport. And I've spoken to people who have watched it and have been like, it's amazing, I'll follow it now. And it's like, yeah, but there's this misconception and people just don't because they already have an idea of it because it's a para sport.
Yeah.
That's the difficulty.
They think about it as a participation sport.
Yes, yeah. And people have, you speak to them and you say, oh, this is my goal, this is what I'm aiming for next. And they're like, I didn't even know you could. Like, no, but you can.
Of course I can.
Of course I can. I could do anything. So I think, it's that legitimacy, like Will says. And I 100% agree with it. And I think also, this isn't necessarily for athletes. This is a big thing that I've always thought about, is that all people in wheelchairs are paralysed. That's such a misconception that, I'm ambulant, so I walk and chair. And it's such, I've had people, call me that I'm faking or I'm dramatic and then you'll kind of stand up and people are shocked out of your chair. And it's like this grey area of ambulant people that people just can't get their heads around, which I would love there to be more education on because...
I was just about to say.
Yeah, it's so difficult to get people's heads around it. That, I use a chair, but sometimes I walk. And for them, it's like, well, why wouldn't you always walk? And it's like, because I wouldn't have the same level of independence if I walked all the time. And it seems to be such a mountain of thought for people to get their heads around. Like
an alien concept.
It is such an alien concept because I guess maybe it's underrepresented in media or people don't talk about it. Or, if you see someone in a chair, you see them in a chair. If you see them walking, you see them walking. You wouldn't then think, oh, maybe they can walk or maybe they can chair. And yeah.
Sometimes they can do both. Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes you just need to. And before I came to uni, I hadn't met anyone ambulant that I knew of. Again, that's me making an assumption that they wouldn't be. But once I came here and I met some of the girls here, some of them are. So we had conversations and I was like, this is so refreshing to speak to someone who's had the same experiences as me because I just hadn't really met anyone who had. So that's a really big misconception of disabled people, I guess.
Yeah.
That I always want to speak about because I guess I fall under the bracket, but it's just never really spoken about.
It's a lack of awareness, education, like you mentioned.
Yeah, just people don't think about it, I guess. But we do exist and we do life, but yeah.
What are some of your proudest achievements in basketball?
Definitely getting selected for the Commonwealth Games qualifiers, senior women's team. That was amazing. I think I was 16 or 17 at the time. And it was a really young squad. And we didn't make it through. But it was such a great experience. And we were all so young. And it was my first senior experience playing for Wales. And that was amazing. We played against such strong teams. So that one will always be really, like, proud for me. I think playing for Wales is just such a proud moment, like, to put on the vest and be with everyone, everyone there is Welsh, and it's just so powerful. So, yeah, no, that's my proudest moment. And just I think, for me, like, I always think, with goal-wise, I always think I don't want to have, like, an ultimate... Everyone has an ultimate goal. But I always think I'm proud whenever I do anything with a group of people and we're all just enjoying it. And I think that, like, it goes back to the community thing, doesn't it? Where it just makes me proud of everyone. Yeah. And I'm just proud that I get to do this. And I'm always proud with Archers because it's such a great community. I'm just proud to do all, really.
I don't know if you'd like to share this. I can take it out if you want.
Okay.
But you cried when I scored my first basket in Division 1. So
yeah.
It just goes to show, like, the support system.
No.
It's making me emotional right now saying it.
I'm so proud of everyone all the time.
So,
I think, I just think it's so exciting, isn't it? When, like, it's just, like, when you make a big step up and you achieve something, I just feel so proud for everyone because we train so often together. And, we go through ups and downs with each other. And it is like, it's a family, really.
It is a family,
We go through so much together, like the National League lot, the girls, like everyone. We do. And I think I just get so happy for other people when they achieve things. Like, it's just so satisfying and nice to see. And, like I love you as a person. Like, I think you're great.
I love you too.
That's why I think, like, I'm just so proud of everyone all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think you partly answered my next question, maybe. But how does it feel when you get the chance to represent Wales, apart from being proud, wearing that vest? How would you conceptualize it to people who haven't had that experience yet?
Yeah. I don't know how to describe it other than proud. Like, it is just an intense feeling of pride. And I think, like, it's hard because I've spoken to the other, like, people that did it and we went to qualifiers, and Will is the same, feels so much Welsh pride because it's just such a huge thing, because it feels like you're representing your family, like your friends, everyone in Wales. It's so big. And, like, the staff, the players, everyone is just so happy to be there. And, like, we're a small community. Like, there's not much wheelchair basketball in Wales. There's not huge development plans. Like, it's hard. And I think, like, we're all so young, really.
Yeah.
And we've all kind of grown up together. And, I think everyone's proud, simply. And just glad to be there. Lucky. Feel very, very lucky.
How would you reflect on your experience playing with Cardiff Met Archers so far?
Fun, yeah. I think all the teams are very different for me. And I think I play very different roles in all of them and, like, take different responsibility in all of them. And I also think, like, I've been here since I was 16 playing. I started off in WPL and then played National League, and then I moved to uni here, so I just have done everything. So I think I've had an experience from when I was very little and I was like the baby to now when I'm co-captain, and it's every year with WPL especially has been different for me. But yeah, no, I think we've always had good community. We've always been friendly. And there's always been such good support behind the scenes. I've experienced, like, I've felt so supported in every single year, especially since moving to uni and being centralised. I feel like there's always someone there. And I think since being injured, especially, I've made good use of the resources available to me. S&C is great, psychology, nutrition, everything. And I think without all of those different aspects to it, you wouldn't be near as strong a player or person as you are.
Yeah.
I think that's what's really great about Cardiff Met is that everyone knows everyone in that circle. So you feel like you can reach out at any point and it's friendly, which is why I think I've been able to make good use of it. Just feeling supported at all points. And there have been big changes in the team, to staff, to coaching, but it's all been handled so well. And I've just felt comfortable at every point, which has been great.
You mentioned not having an ultimate goal, But what do you think are some of your goals for wheelchair basketball right now? Apart from getting back, obviously, to training and playing.
Yeah, getting back to where I was. It's hard because I don't know, like when I start again, I don't know where I'll be. There's like a baseline, I imagine. But like it's been so long, I can't remember how I play. It's
Really?
weird, almost. Oh. It's almost like I can't remember what it's like. But my goal at the minute, it's just started women's development camps and things. I haven't been able to make it to any of them. But hopefully my goal is to get there next month and then look towards progressing up into GB pathway and things like that, progressing up the pathway and just seeing where that takes me. Obviously, an ultimate goal is to play for GB.
Yeah.
That's everyone's goal. And then the next Commonwealth qualifiers, we've started the trialling process for that. So selection for that is a massive goal of mine, and to play well and to train well in the trialling process. And just to keep improving on the things that I've set out to improve, become smarter and faster and stronger, and all of those things.
Amazing. Best of luck with that.
Thank you.
What do you like to do outside being an athlete?
I love to read. I'm a big reader. I love cozy activities. I do a bit of colouring, a bit of reading, spending loads of time with friends, especially from basketball. Spend time with Will, my boyfriend, family. I'm a home person. Like I love, if I have a free weekend, free bit of the week, I love to go home. Like I miss the beach when I'm here, and I miss my family and my dog.
And home is Pembroke for you,
Pembrokeshire, right on the coast. So it's very different to living in the city, and sometimes it's nice to go back to the beach, see my friends from home and things.
It's like an escape almost.
It is, and it's nice to come back and go back to routine and things. And I miss my friends here when I'm there and there when I'm here. But I just like to do cozy things. And I think since being injured, I've found a lot more hobbies as well. Because it's important to keep busy, and like it's so hard because basketball takes up so much of your time generally. That when you don't have that, you need to fill that time somehow. So I've been getting way better grades on the assessments.
Good.
Because that's been, I'm just throwing myself into that.
Yeah, that's really positive.
And then my placement starts in 2 weeks, so that'll take up a lot of my time, but I'm really excited for that as well. So,
tell us more about your placement.
So my placement is the Prison and Probation Service. So it will be 3 months of working with them, and every week will be somewhere different, so prison courts. So I'm really excited, nervous, but excited to kind of be thrown into the world that we've been learning about. I think it's so exciting to do something other than work in a classroom, and just experience like the actual world. But yeah, I'm really excited to start.
Yeah. What can you tell us about the Women's Premier League squad this season?
It's a very different team. A lot more development in our team this year, which isn't a bad thing. Like the girls, we've been working so hard in pre-season, and I'm so proud of every single one of them. There's been such improvement, and it's just such a lovely group of girls. There's so much respect in the team, so much trust, and some real talent. Yeah. So I'm really excited to start the season and see what we can do. I'm so proud to be co-captain of the team as well, which is a whole new experience for me. Like I've captained under 18s and things, but I've never captained a senior team. So I'm really excited to do that. We're really excited to get started. I feel like it's been a long time coming. Pre-season drags.
Took such a long time this season, I think.
Such a long time. I think we started earlier, really, because there were some new girls. I'm so excited, honestly.
And the first game is against Loughborough, isn't it?
Loughborough, on Saturday.
Fantastic, yeah. Is there anything that we haven't covered that you would like to talk about, do you think?
I don't think so. I feel like we've covered so much.
Yes.
Yeah, brilliant questions. I love them.
Thank you. We have a tradition on the podcast where the guest leaves one piece of advice for the next guest without knowing who they are. Would you like to hear the advice that Will left for you?
Yeah.
The first thing that springs to mind, particularly as a dual sport athlete at the moment, is never close any doors. Take every opportunity you can, but then never let anyone tell you what you can and can't do. Because, of course, growing up with a disability, people always tell you your limitations. But then I've always had people saying, you've got to pick between the sports, you can't do both, you can't sustain it. And I feel like I've done it both to quite a good level now. So
You've done a brilliant job so far.
thank you very much. So never close any doors. Take every opportunity you can, and always stay true to yourself. Don't let anyone tell you what your limitations are.
So Libby,
I love that little bit of advice.
what's one piece of advice you would like to share with the next para-athlete?
Take some time to yourself, I'd say. Just from what I've learned recently, like, say no to a few sessions.
Yeah.
Not being the devil on the shoulder or anything. But yeah, just, take some time for yourself when you need it. Don't always prioritize sport, because you never know. You never know what might happen tomorrow or the day after. And I think you need to make sure that you have that identity outside of sport, and that you would be okay if you missed it for a few months. And, make sure that you have those hobbies set and you're okay with that sport, just in case.
I love that. That's really good advice.
Yeah.
It's not sort of like not putting pressure on yourself to go to every session, go to every game, just taking time out and
God
being
knows,
someone.
I'll come back and I'll do the same thing.
Yeah.
But I'm going to try not to. But that advice from Will, very relevant.
Yeah.
He's a smart guy.
Yes, sometimes.
Sometimes.
We love you, Will. Thank you so much, Libby, for this episode. I really enjoyed this conversation. So
Thank you so much for having me.